The Hidden Power of Silence, a story of inner strength in a world consumed by noise where voices clash and chaos reigns. One man discovered the power of stillness. Ethan lived in a city that never stopped. Horns blared, phones buzzed, people talked, but rarely listened. The world demanded a response to every sound, every question, every moment. He had spent years feeling as though he needed to fill the silence, to match the energy of the never-ending chatter. But deep inside, something felt off, like he was drowning in a sea of words with no meaning. But one day, everything changed. A heated meeting. Voices rose like crashing waves, arguments spiraled out of control. Ethan felt his chest tighten, his mind race. But instead of joining the storm, he did something unthinkable. He said nothing. The room froze. Eyes turned to him, expectant, waiting for his rebuttal. But he remained still, silent, calm. And then, something miraculous happened. The noise began to fade. Tension dissolved. One by one, people noticed the quiet. Their own voices softened. The meeting shifted. Solutions emerged, not from yelling, but from listening. That day, Ethan discovered the truth. Silence speaks louder than words. From that moment on, he wielded this hidden power. In conflicts, he listened. In conversations, he paused. In moments of stress, he embraced the stillness within. But this journey was not easy. Ethan's silence was often misunderstood. Some thought he was weak. Others mistook his quiet for indifference. But he remained steadfast. He watched as people tripped over their own words, as they spoke without truly thinking. He realized that most people weren't speaking to communicate. They were speaking to be heard, to fill the void. He started practicing silence beyond meetings. In his personal life, when his friends vented, he let them talk, without interruption. When someone challenged him, he let their words settle before responding. And in moments of stress, he found that silence gave him clarity. One evening, while walking through the crowded city streets, he passed a homeless man playing a violin. The music soared above the city noise, cutting through the chaos like a blade. Ethan stopped. He closed his eyes and simply listened. For the first time in a long time, he felt the depth of a single sound, untainted by the rush of words. At that moment, he knew silence wasn't just about the absence of noise. It was about presence, about being so deeply connected to a moment that nothing else mattered. Years passed, and Ethan became known for his stillness. People sought his advice, drawn to the way he carried himself with unshakable confidence. He became a leader, not through forceful words, but through the power of restraint, of knowing when to speak and when to simply be. But Ethan's journey was far from over. One day, a major crisis hit his company. The stock market crashed, investors panicked, and employees were on edge. Meetings were held around the clock, voices raised in desperation, fingers pointed in blame. Ethan sat at the head of the table observing, not speaking, just listening. Executives in the room grew frustrated. "Ethan, say something," someone demanded. He took a deep breath. The weight of the moment was heavy, but he did not rush. He let the silence settle, making every second feel like an eternity. Finally, he spoke. "We have two choices. We can let fear drive us, or we can pause and make the right move." The room fell silent. The madness calmed. People began thinking instead of reacting. Ethan knew then that silence was his greatest weapon. He took this power beyond the boardroom. At home, his relationships transformed. When his wife was upset, instead of rushing to fix things, he simply held her hand and let her speak. When his son was struggling with school, he let him vent, responding only when the moment was right. The more he listened, the more he understood. One night, Ethan sat in his study, reflecting on how far he had come. The world was still loud, but he no longer felt the need to add to the noise. He had mastered the art of stillness, and in doing so, he had discovered something even greater. Silence is not just about withholding words. It is about presence, power, and wisdom. And in a society that screams for attention, the one who masters silence commands true power. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the story. Let me know in the comments what ideas you would like the next story to be about. Please leave a thumbs up, share, subscribe, comment.